Good morning, everyone, and myself, V. Dinesh Babu from the Department of CSC of Chebrolo Engineering College. And in today's class, we are going to discuss about the programs related to external CSS and selectors. I welcome all the listeners of this video. Before going to the today's session, let us revive the session what we have discussed previously. So in the previous session, we have seen programs related to inline CSS and internal CSS. In the previous two sessions, we started CSS cascading style sheets. So this particular CSS are used to apply some styles to our HTML document or web page. So we have seen the theory part first, and then I explained the theory part again while working with the programs. So as we saw earlier, this CSS, there are three types of CSS: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. So in the previous session, we have completed up to inline CSS and internal CSS, right? So you can see here the three types of style sheets: inline style sheet, internal style sheet, external style sheet. So there is one more name for internal style sheet, that is embedded style sheet, right? So in the previous session, we have completed inline. So inline means when we want to apply style to only one line or one element on a web page, then we go for inline style sheet, right? We have seen one example also. I will show that example in the last class. Wait for a while. These are the programs what we have discussed in the previous class. So we have written the inline style sheet program in style1.html. So let us look at what we have written here. So in order to apply inline CSS, we need to use an attribute called as style attribute. So that style attribute can be used along with any of the elements in HTML. Any of the elements, in the sense, we can use the style attribute to the body tag, that means body element, or we can use the style attribute to H1, that means H1 tag or heading 1 element. We can use the style attribute to a paragraph, that means P. Similarly, we can use the same style attribute to any of the elements, to the majority of the elements in HTML. So here, not only using the style attribute will bring you some styles. Style attribute is the name of the attribute. For that style attribute, we have to pass some values. So the values which are passed to the style attribute will bring some styles to our web pages, right? So what are the different values that can be passed to the style attribute? Here are the some of the examples of the different attributes, different values that can be passed to style attribute. So by default, the color of the text over the web page will be in black color. And if someone don't want their text to be in black color on a web page, then we can change the color of the text on a web page by using this style attribute. So in order to change the color of a text on a web page, for style attribute, we have to pass a value called as color colon your interested color. If you want your text to be orange over the web page, then you have to pass color colon web page, and all the values should be represented within double quotes. And if you want your text to be displayed in red color, you have to pass color colon red. So in order to change the color of the text, we can use color colon name of the color. And at the same time, by default, the background of any web page is white. And if you want to change the background to some other color, if you are interested in some other color, then you can change the background of a web page by using an option called as background hyphen color colon color name. What is highlighted on the screen? Background hyphen color colon color name. So if you want yellow as a background, you can give background hyphen color colon yellow. If you want green as a background, background hyphen color colon green. And then there are multiple number of fonts are available. Some of the examples are Arial font, Times New Roman, Vardhana, etc. So if you want to change the font style of our text on a web page, then you can change the font style by using font hyphen family colon name of the font, right? So and then the last one, not the last one, what we have, the last thing what we have seen in the previous session, right? So sometimes we want to display the text over the web page in larger size and sometimes in very smaller size. If you observe any company website, they will give all their offers and description in a very large font and attractive manner. When coming to terms and conditions, they will put terms and conditions on a web page also, but those terms and conditions are represented in very small fonts. So in such a way, if we want to represent our text in larger font or small font than other than usual font, we can use this option called as font hyphen size colon. We have to provide the size in terms of pixels. If you want your font to occupy 50 pixel size for each and every character, then you have to pass font hyphen size colon 50 px, where px represents pixels, right? So this is how we can apply styles to a single line, right? We are going to use style attribute during the declaration of that is the starting tag of the element. So now the style will be applied to only for that particular element. It will not be applied to any other elements, right? So this is how we can use inline style sheet, right? Inline style sheet means we will provide the properties related to styles in the same line, and the styles will also be applied for that line only. That is why The name is called as inline cascading style sheet, right? So let us look at the second program what we have seen in the previous session. Why I am repeating these two things in the sense, some people just texted me. They thought that they did not understand up to some level. So that is why I am explaining the two programs again, right? So the second type of style sheet is internal style sheet or embedded style sheet. So here we will represent this style sheet in the head session. So when we are talking about HTML, the total HTML document can be divided into two parts, right? Head section and body section. So head section contains some extra information regarding the HTML document, where the body section is the actual thing what we want to display on the web page. So here, while we are talking about internal or embedded style sheets, we need to write the code for CSS, that is cascading style sheet code, should be included in the head section only. Right? Previously, while writing the inline, we have written all the code related to style attribute in the body section. So while we are dealing with internal, we have to write the CSS code in the head section of the HTML document. So how to write the CSS code in the head section, right? So that is one of the question that will be in many of the minds of the people. So here, inside the head section, in order to write an internal or embedded style sheet, there is one more HTML element or tag called as style tag. Style tag. So we have to write the code related to CSS between the style start tag and the style end tag. Keep one thing in your mind, when we are talking about internal or embedded style sheet, the styles will be applied to the entire HTML document. In inline, the style is applied to only one line. But in internal, the style will be applied to the entire document, right? So if we apply some style to H1 in internal, so whenever we use H1, the same styles will be repeated, right? So here, in order to represent the CSS code in internal CSS, we use a style tag, style start tag, and style end tag. In between these two tags, that is the style start tag and end tag, we write some code related to styles. If you observe the program, we have applied styles for 3 HTML elements, right? H1, P, right? P, and then body. So what we have done for H1, we want color should be orange and font size should be 100 pixels. For P, we want a background color of green, and for body, we want a background color of red. So whenever we use H1 inside the body of this particular HTML document, automatically the color of H1 heading will be in orange and the font size will be of 100 pixels. Whenever we use paragraph tag, automatically the background color of the paragraph will be in green color. Whenever we use body tag, so body means the complete thing what we want to display over the web page. So the entire web page background color will be changed to red. So now this H1 can be used any number of times. Each and every time the same properties are going to be applied for H1. That means if we write some style to an element in internal style sheet, that styles will be common for that element to entire document. Right now, I think everyone got understand regarding this inline and internal style sheet. Okay, so now let us see about the external style sheet. Right, this external CSS cascading style sheet is used to apply CSS on multiple pages or all the pages. Previously, while we are saying about inline, the style is applied to only one line. When we say internal, the style is applied to the entire document. When we say external, so the style can be applied to n number of documents. What we do here is, here we write all the CSS code in a CSS file. Its extension must be .css. That means we are not going to include style attribute along with the elements. We are not going to include style tag in the head section. Here, what we are going to do, we are going to write some CSS code in a separate document, and we are going to save that particular document with any other name, but the extension should be .css. The people who work with programming languages, they all know these type of formats. When we are writing a C program, we save the C program with .c. When we want to save a C++ program, we save the program with .cpp. We save the Java programs with .java. Similarly, from the past 2 weeks, we are working on HTML. We are saving these HTML programs with .html extension. We can have any name. Name may be your name or your mother name or your branch name, college name, whatever the name may be. But at the end, we need to have .html for all the HTML documents. Similarly, when we are writing some CSS code in a separate document, the way to save the CSS code document is with the .css extension, right? So here we will write all the CSS code in a CSS file. Its extension must be .css, right? And then how to bring that separate document into our HTML document is one of the question which will run in the minds of many people. So in order to bring that CSS document into our HTML, we have a tag called as link tag, L-I-N-K, link tag. And that link tag is not included in body, under the body tag. We need to use this link tag inside the head section. So if we want to apply the same styles for 4 HTML documents, so for those 4 HTML documents, we need to write this link tag inside the head section of these 4 HTML documents, so that the styles will be applied, the styles will be common for all the 4 HTML documents. Not only 4, we can use the same link tag and apply the external CSS for n number of HTML documents. That means we are reusing the code. We have written the CSS file once and we are using the CSS file n number of times, right? We are using the already existing one. That means the inheritance property. In object-oriented programming languages, you will study what about inheritance. I think all of you are aware of it, right? So here we write one CSS file and we bring that CSS file into our HTML document by using link tag. So we all are familiar with how to insert images into HTML documents. In order to insert images into HTML document, we use img tag. That img tag contains an attribute called as href. For that href, we are going to provide the complete path of the image, what we want on our web page. Similarly, for the link tag also, we have to provide the complete path of the CSS file to the href attribute of the link tag. So for the link tag also, there is an attribute called as href, and for that href, we have to pass the complete path of the CSS document, so that it will link the CSS document to our HTML document. So the styles will be applied according to the CSS which was linked to the HTML document. This is the process what will happen in case of external CSS, right? So let us see one example regarding this external CSS, so that we can have much clarification regarding how this external CSS will work, right? As I said earlier, I request all the students to please practice each and every program what you are seeing on the screen, right? So today we are going to work with external, maybe style sheet or CSS. I want the title of my web page as external style sheet. Okay, so before going to write this HTML code, right? Let us write the CSS code. Later on, we can move to the HTML code. As I said earlier, we have to write the HTML code, sorry, CSS code in a separate document. So here I am going to take one new text document, right? So in the text document, I'm going to write some styles, right? I'm going to write some styles. For example, if I want to use paragraph, I need some red background for the text in the paragraph. I need red background. So in order to apply background, right? In order to apply background, we have an option called as background color. For that background color, we want red for the background color, right? And this is my cascading style sheet code, right? I am only applying style to paragraph only. I'm not concentrating on any other thing. Later I will add some more code to the CSS. Now I just want everyone to know the process of how to write CSS code and how to link this particular CSS document to our HTML document. So if all of you are aware of how to write CSS and how to save CSS and how to link CSS to our HTML document, then we can apply more styles. That is not a problem, right? So this is a CSS file. This is a CSS file. So I'm going to save this file as a.css. So the file name is a.css, right? I have saved the particular file. Okay. So now look where this, right, A is here, right? A is here. If you observe the type of the file, it is represented as cascading style sheet document. Okay. So make a right click here and go to properties. And this is the path where this CSS has been saved in our computer system. Now copy the particular path, and let us work with the HTML document. As I said earlier, if we want to use external CSS in our program, right, we have to use a tag called as link tag, and the link tag should be used within the head section, right? Link tag. And for that link tag, we have to use one attribute called as href attribute, right? Href attribute. And that for href attribute, just paste the path what you have copied for a.css. And my file name is a.css. So I have given the complete path of a.css to the href attribute of link tag. Along with this, we have to use two more attributes. The name of the first attribute is relation, which is defined by rel, relation. So here the relation is, it is a style sheet, right? So relation attribute will tell what is the relation between this HTML document and CSS. The CSS is a style sheet to HTML document. That's what we have written their style sheet. That's why. Next one. And one more attribute is type attribute. For type attribute, we have to pass HTML or CSS, right? Sorry, we have to give text or CSS. Now, after using this link tag in the head session, this particular CSS file has been linked to our HTML document. So whenever you apply or whenever you write the tags which are in the CSS in the body section, then those tags will have the styles which are linked in CSS file, right? So let us close the link tag, right? And in the body tag, right, let us write some code. Let us use H1 heading. So H1 heading will print good morning as their message. And let us use paragraph, welcome everyone. So this is my paragraph, what I want to display on the web page. Now save the code, right? Save the code as inline is saved with style1.html. Internals is saved with style2.html. So let us save this one with the name style3.html, right? Now it has been saved in documents with the name style3.html. So let us open the documents, and it is the document folder. Let us find style3.html. Here it is at the bottom, right? So style3, and it is an HTML document. Now double click on this one, right? If you double click on this one, the output is displayed like as you are seeing on the screen. So let us compare, right? Let us compare the output and the code what we have written, right? On the LHS of the screen, you are seeing the output. On the RHS of the screen, we are seeing the program on external CSS, right? Right. Now, come from the first line of HTML. Here we have included HTML tag and head tag, and under the head tag we have used a title tag. So we want the title as external style sheet. So let us verify on the left hand side, that is the output of the HTML document. Here it is the title, external style sheet. And then if you observe the next line on HTML document, we have used a link tag, we have used a H reference, and we have linked a.css. So a.css is linked to HTML document. So the styles in this particular document are according to the a.css file. So let us open a.css file so that we can have much clarity regarding this file. And it is the a.css file. So in a.css file, we have written a single statement, and the statement is as follows: p, and within the flower braces, background hyphen color colon red. That means we are going to apply red background color to the paragraph. That means P tag. That means whenever we use P tag in our HTML document, then the background of that paragraph will be in red color. For all the HTML documents where this a.css is linked in their head section. So in our program also, we have linked this a.css file in the head section. So this a.css file contains only one style. It is not a problem. We may have n number of styles in a.css. So all the styles, there may be one or two or n number of styles. All the styles which are in a.css will be applicable to this document. So here we have applied style for only P. So whenever we use paragraph that is P tag, the background will be in red color, right? So that is what we link to this HTML document. So let us look at the next code. We closed the link section, link tag. We closed the head tag and we open the body tag. And inside the body tag, we have used two more tags, H1 and P. We all know that H1 is the heading tag, which is having largest font size when compared to all the remaining heading tags. So by using H1 tag, we have printed good morning on the screen. So you can observe on the LHS side, good morning is printed with the font size according to H1. And then look at the RHS side. We have used a tag called as P tag, and we have, sorry, I think we have mistaken in the spelling. That's not a problem. So let us discuss the topic. We have used a P tag, and we have printed one statement, welcome everyone, right? So this P tag, for this particular P tag, we have written the background color as red in CSS file, and we have linked the CSS file in head section. So whenever we use P tag, the text will be in black color, but the background for this text will be in red color. So that is what happened in the output of this HTML document. Welcome to everyone is in black color, but welcome to everyone is black color, but the background of this text is in red color. This is only possible when we link. This is possible because we linked a CSS file. So let us add some more styles in the CSS, and it is a CSS file. Let us add some more styles and let us see whether they will work or not. So here I'm going to apply some style to H1. So initially, if you observe LHS, the color of H1 is black. It is by default. So I want to change the color of H1 to green. Right now, first to save the CSS file. After saving the CSS file, right, save the HTML file. After saving the HTML file, go to the output browser and make a refresh here. One second. Let us open it again. Styles3.html. One second, I will look at it. Sorry, I think yeah, it is visible. It is visible, right? It has changed the color to green, right? Now, let us apply. Let us apply one more declaration to H1. So the declaration should be separated with a semicolon. Here, my declaration is I want the H1 size in 100 pixels. So if we want to change the font size, we need to use the option called as font-size colon. We have to provide the size of the character in terms of pixels. So here I want the size of each and every character inside H1 should occupy 100 pixels. So I have given font-size colon 100 pixels. Okay. So now save the code, right? Save the program and then make a refresh here. So the font size has been increased to 100 pixels. So this is how we can work with external CSS. Now let us apply, right? Let us apply some styles to some other tags. Body. So for the entire body, I want light gray color. For the entire body, I want some light gray color. Save the code, save the program, and then make a refresh here. If you observe what happened when we make a refresh, so the entire background color has been changed to light gray color because we have used background hyphen color as light gray for the body tag, right? So now let us use, we all know B tag is used to bold the text, right? B tag is used to bold the text. So here I am going to apply some style to B tag. So whenever we use B tag, the color of the text, we want the color to be yellow. So I'm saving this code, and then I am making refresh here. So sorry, I just applied some style to B tag. Now I'm going to use this B tag here, B, and I am writing the name of our college here, and I'm closing the B tag. Now save the code and make a refresh here. If you observe, it was printed by using the B tag, and the color of the text has been in yellow because we have applied some yellow color to the B tag in CSS file. This is how we can use CSS, sorry, external CSS, right? So only we need to remember 2 or 3 points. We need to write the code related to style in a separate document, and then we have to save that document with .css extension. And after saving the CSS file, we need to write the HTML code, and inside the HTML code, inside the head section, we need to use another tag called as link tag. And for that link tag, we have to use 3 attributes: href, relation, rel, and type. For href, we have to pass the complete path of the CSS file. For relation, we have to represent it as style sheet. And for type, we have to pass the value text or CSS. Now, particular CSS file has been linked to HTML document. And now we can start writing the body session. And inside the body session, we can start using different elements. Now, the styles which were represented in that particular CSS will be applied to this document, right? So with this, I'm going to close today's section, right? So if you have any queries regarding today's session, you can just text me or comment me in the video, right? So because of some feedback from the people, as I am going a little bit fast, that's why I went a lot slower in this session. I went fast because we have already taken up to 11 to 12 sessions on HTML till now, right? That's why I went a bit fast. So no problem. We will take, your understanding is the most important thing for me. So we will take a couple of extra hours. That's not a problem. So I request all you to please practice the programs, to please understand the theory part, and then please practice the programs so that you will get some enough knowledge regarding HTML or CSS, or the next coming classes we are going to see about JavaScript. I hope you all get some enough knowledge today. And I request, please practice the things, right? So if you have any queries regarding today's session, please make a comment in the comment section, or you can text me. And I'm very thankful to all the listeners of this video for being patient throughout the session, right? So I'm ending this session, and thank you very much, and thanks.